Melanin wind down.
Hi. Hey y'all, it's Malibu.
Hey, it's Jay.
It's your girl Andrea, the creative.
And this is your girl Zizi.
Welcome to Melanin Wind Down.
Okay, so I would like for you guys to just answer this question.
Okay.
What do you think this situation is about?
Okay.
You're with your individual. You guys go out, hang out, in each other's company. You know, have a little intimacy going on. You know, dates and all that.
You know, an intimate.
But yet, there's no titles of boyfriend and girlfriend. You guys are just there in the moment, and you're stuck in limbo on this one particular question. What are we?
That sounds like a situationship to me, girl.
You are absolutely right. It is. It is a situationship.
Okay.
So basically, what a situationship is pretty much a fake relationship that is pretending to be a real relationship.
Ooh.
That is.
All the responsibilities, none of the
titles.
No titles.
No, that's hurt, but ain't no title.
You do all this stuff and nobody knows you.
Ooh. Shoot.
So, have you been through something recently?
I'm not gonna say I've been through something recently, but
she been through something.
I've been through something. Not recently, but been through. So pretty much, you know, you go through this whole interactions with the individual, and you're stuck on confusion. Every time you guys interact, you're like, oh, they look cute together, all that stuff. But, you know, nobody wants to say, hey, you know, it's my girlfriend. Hey, it's my boyfriend. So, you know, you're just walking around in La La Land, in fantasy world, and it's not the real world.
So let me ask you, how did you fall into a situationship, and how long was your longest situationship?
Oh, child.
I'm not going to say that was actually in one, but, you know.
Rhetorically.
Rhetorically, hypothetically, if I was in one, probably be a minute.
What's a minute? Is a minute 5 minutes or a minute 7 years? I need to
several
years.
Several years. Okay.
Okay. So how did this particular situationship that's not real, but in this hypothetical situation,
if it was real,
you know, if this happened in this rhetoric, how do you fall into a situationship? What happens?
Well, pretty much, you know, mutual situation happening, you know. Oh, hi, my name is such and such. Oh, my name is such and such. Oh, hi. Ooh, googly eyes. Then I said, you want to go on a date? Oh, I would love to.
There's dates?
In the beginning, there's dates.
Okay.
In the beginning, yes.
And then all of a sudden, we're interacting. Oh, and then all of a sudden, you know, once again, several years down the line, hypothetically, you're like, so, like, what is this? Like,
it took several years to say, what is this though? In this hypothetical situation?
It didn't take me several years.
Right now. Oh, this is a case-by-case basis. Okay, so in this hypothetical case.
In this hypothetical case, you're like, oh, discussion wasn't said or given.
Okay, wait. In this hypothetical case, how long before the first time that y'all tried to discuss this? How many years?
I feel like a couple.
Like 2, 3?
Like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So when you're in a situationship, are you like dating other people? Are you like looking for the one? Are you guys exclusive? Like, how does that work? Like,
in a situationship, you're not exclusive because it was never brought up to be exclusive.
And I feel like also situationships are easy to fall into when the two people in the situationship are not in the same city, maybe not even in the same state, because it's easy to leave that, oh, oh, you know, I seen you when I came in town, and okay, I'm leaving now, but I still want to keep in contact. So you fall into that, you know.
Yeah.
So instead of a long distance relationship, it becomes a situationship.
Yes.
Okay.
With no attachments, really.
Yeah.
Until things are further down the line. And
I feel like when feelings are involved, then you get confused on what this is, but you guys never have the conversation.
right.
Okay, so then my question is, why is the conversation never had?
Maybe it's because the fear of what the other person might say or what you might say in regards of the situation. So nobody wants to like break up this what they have. They think it works
How
for
it is.
how it is. So if you bring up feelings, it's the fear of, okay, one person may want this thing or the other person wants another. It's not lining with the situationship, so you must, like, everybody must go their separate ways. I don't think nobody wants to go their separate ways if they feel like it's working for them.
Okay, so nobody wants to break up or
Air
go
quotes.
their separate ways.
Air quotes.
Is what you're doing in a situationship. You're not breaking up, I guess. Nobody wants to go their separate ways. So how come nobody says, hey, why don't we just make this official?
That is the person, like the people in it. Like they have to have their reasons on why they don't want to make it official. Like we don't know what the other person is saying, or you yourself may have an idea, but you're not concrete on what your idea is in order to make it official.
So it's like fear of what if they don't want exactly what I want play a part, and keeping it a situationship is kind of working, but it's unofficial working. Like, is there a fear of like putting it out there, well, I would like to make this blase a full-time, we're actually committed to each other, I'd like to take that next step, especially if it's like long-term situationship. Is there like a major fear of taking that next step, or is it just the familiarity of that situation, that it's a relationship without it's a true situationship, it sounds like, because there's no discussion of what this means to us. We just going off the intuition of, well, we kind of together. Is the fear a big part of not making that next conversation?
I think the fear of making that step over from the situationship into a relationship, because you're not putting that much effort into a situationship versus an actual real relationship where you guys actually have to do everything, like communicate more, you gotta actually see each other more than usual and all that stuff. And I don't think each party wants to kind of put that much effort into it when they know that, you know, half the work gets a big reward versus doing a lot of work gets a small reward. So
I think that's important to point out, that a lot of times in situationships, neither party has to put in that total commitment. Like you said, you don't have to communicate effectively. You don't have to go on dates if you don't want to. You don't have to, you know, reject other prospects if you don't, you know, if you have that option. But you still get that benefit. If the benefit is sex, you still get the sex without having to put in that full commitment. You still get, for instance, if they need a favor or they need to come through and talk or whatever, you still get that benefit of, you get the good side without the challenge of what a relationship is.
Right.
And that makes it,
you pretty much get all the good,
right,
bad.
right. And I think that makes it easy to stay in a situationship, just because this is gonna sound bad, but who wants to put in all that work when you're already getting
The benefits.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The fringe, but it sounds like when you package it like that, it sounds like that's kind of ideal. Like,
Right.
who wouldn't want to be in a
Right.
situationship? But
It's not
Right.
ideal.
like, why is it not ideal? Like, why
Right.
do situationships eventually leave you frustrated or leave you feeling like you are not fully fulfilled? Like, what about a situationship ends up, especially in the long term, when what becomes a negative portion of it? Because what you just described sound like, yeah, that's pretty much perfect, I want that.
Right.
But what ends up being the issue in a situationship that makes one or the other party want to kind of back out of it?
Oh, say it again. Sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
Repeat that.
So, in a situationship, it sounds ideal when you package it up. You get all of the fringe benefits, all of the good stuff without having to put all of the energy of a relationship. So, it sounds like that should be the perfect situation.
But why is it not?
Why is it not? What goes down in a situationship, particularly a long-term situationship, that makes it not ideal at the end of the day?
Well, I would say for me, mine wasn't very long term. It was over like maybe a few months, but okay.
If it's more than 1 month, it's long term.
So, but it was a situation where I was dating this guy, and I had basically a feeling that he was still involved, even though he told me he was not. It was just like my intuition was telling me that he was involved with somebody else. And finally it was confirmed through something that I saw on Instagram. And I finally was just like, look, this whole time we have been like talking to each other. He was texting me, all of this stuff. And I felt like I wasn't getting the complete person. Like, it was just a very like every now and then kind of thing, even though I really liked him. And it was a lot of like empty promises, like, oh, I want you to come visit me. Oh, I want you to do this. Oh, I want you to do that. But there was no follow through. So finally, it was just like, look, you just have to come to a point where you just break it off. When you know you're not getting like the full of somebody, and you're not getting like a complete, for lack of a better term, situation. It's like you just have to like say, hey, like, what's going on here? What are we? And I had that conversation with him, and he was trying to tell me like, oh, well, we just talking. Oh, we just getting to know each other. Oh, we just this. Oh, we just that. And after a few months, it's like, this is too little of what I'm looking for. So that's when I finally was like, okay, it's time to cut it off.
So what let it go on for that long, though?
Why let it go on for that long?
Y'all, this Jay talking. I'm sorry, we didn't for the podcast. This Jay talking right now.
Yeah.
Why did I let it go on that long?
Yeah, like, were you kind of invested in what it might be based on how he was packaging himself? Or?
Yeah, well, I thought, okay, he's the real deal. He's got a job. He's got a car. He's, you know, I don't know. I just felt like I really liked him. He was a gentleman. We went on a couple dates. You know, everything was, everything seemed good from on the surface. But then, like, the day to day, like the week to week, it was just like I wasn't getting the full picture. And so, yeah.
I think, like you said, the packaging of a situationship is really, like, they advertise it.
Right.
Really, it's very advertised very well.
Yes.
But I feel like the issue with a situationship is that every time you get into one,
Start that sentence over again.
For editing purposes.
yes. Where did I start?
The issue.
I feel like the issue with the situationship is, although it's packaged very nicely, there's always going to be one person that got into it with the intent of moving past the situationship.
Yes, that's a good point.
And so you have the one person who's like, look, I'm just trying to have fun. I ain't got to be committed. I can, you know, do what I want on the side. I can come get, you know, that thing when I want to.
Whatever that thing might be.
Whatever. It could be washing dishes, taking out clothes. You know, I don't know.
Watching Netflix and literally chilling.
Get some food.
And the other person is like, ooh, this might be fun. I can see myself with this person for a while, you know. But that communication never comes in where it's like, hey, this is where I see this going. What do you think? So it kind of just lingers because this person is like, well, I'm getting to know them. We might go on a couple dates. It's all good. And the other person is like, I ain't got no, you know, intention of going past. Let's go to the movies every few weeks or whatever.
Right. Or let me come by every few weeks and take you out.
Exactly.
And I also think like a situationship, like one person may be in it like, oh, I want to really see what this goes, and another person like, I mean, see what it, but it also can start off where both people are like, I mean, we just here, and then like further down the line, then that one person in this whole debacle is saying, okay, I'm catching feelings. I think I kind of like this person, while that other person is still on the, hey, you know, I'm here for the here, and let's just let it be what it is.
Yeah. So has anybody ever had that conversation or conversations with that person that you're in a situation with and had an adverse reaction based on your fears, or had the positive reaction where they were like, well, I want to move it forward? Like, has it ever gone well or gone very, very badly where you try to move past that situationship?
Well, I had experience. It was 2 situations within the situationship. The individual actually asked me, like, what are we? Like, what are we doing? And y'all, please forgive me for my reaction afterwards. I literally laughed in their face. I didn't mean to.
Cold-blooded.
I didn't mean to. It was a nervous laugh because it came out of nowhere. So I'm like,
his poor feeling.
right.
Oh,
And I saw the look of, what, bitch?
I was like, yeah, you probably would have got that look though.
And then further down the line, I brought it up, and the individual was like, we're gonna have the conversation, but we won't have it right now. So I feel like everybody had their chance to say it, but nobody actually said what they wanted to say. It was just deterrence. The first one was my deterrence, and I guess the second one was that individual's deterrence, not to actually talk about it at that time. So
let's talk a little bit about why you felt like it was nervous laughter. What was that?
Why you gotta go back to that?
Because
yeah, that was significant though.
that was very significant.
Like,
because
it hit
I'm
so
not
hard.
gonna lie. If I would have asked somebody that and they would have laughed in my face, I'd be like, oh, right, I guess we're done here.
Yeah.
So was it just like, oh, I don't know what to say, laughter, or was it like, like, I don't want to be with you like that? Like,
it was like, I don't know what to say, laughter. Like,
okay.
I don't know like what to say. Like, I had the words in my head.
But you
It's just I
couldn't get
couldn't
them out.
verbalize
Okay.
it. So that's where the laughter came. It was not to be malicious, y'all. I mean, come on now.
So do you feel like it was like a maturity thing? Like maybe you were not quite there, or you hadn't worked out your feelings about the situation?
I feel like looking at the person's behavior, it was like out of left field for them to say that. So that's
so you
why
weren't expecting him
I
to
wasn't,
say that.
because of the behavior and
Gotcha.
the actions that were like
Like, he was out there living his best life, and then all of a sudden he want to wife you.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, okay, this is what we're doing.
Okay.
Dang. Okay, that makes it a little bit more understandable then.
It's complexities. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So what do you I know we really can't comment on how other people think, but what do you feel like was going through his head when you tried to bring it up more recently, I guess?
I guess like, even though it's like the distance thing, I always heard like he was like asking about me through other people. And like, even though like we weren't actually communicating, like other people would say he's asking about you, like he's asking like what are you doing and all this stuff. And like when that first situation happened, I was like, oh, okay. And I guess like the second situation, I guess it was like a retaliation of what I said, what my reaction was prior to.
So ego was a part of it.
Yeah, the ego was part of it.
Yeah.
And so like I don't want to talk about it. But there was another situation where an individual had pulled him over to ask like what's going on. And I guess like the individual was like, he said it worked, but then he kept asking me questions on how I felt about everything. Like, what like what's her thought process.
Can we give some names so that I'm not
I'm
confused?
not gonna call
not real. It ain't got to be real names.
Protect the innocent with.
Is this the same person as a process A that we were
Bob or
talking about?
something, child. 'Cause
Bob? No.
Okay, so there's Bob and Tony. Who's the situation shipper?
Bob will be the situation shipper.
Okay.
And Tony
Is the one who pulled him to the side.
Tony's the one that pulled him to the side.
Okay.
So Bob was asking about your thought process?
Bob was like, I guess it works for us. But what does she think about it?
Oh, see.
So
now
Bob didn't want to say the right.
Yeah.
But
Bob didn't want to say anything. Yeah, Bob wasn't Bob.
I see. Okay. So since both of you at some point in this hypothetical situation, so since both of y'all in this hypothetical situation have at some point wanted to take it to the next level,
Realistic.
have wanted to take it to the next level, and you admittedly that first reaction was out of nervousness, maybe a little ego bruising, and now he's operating in a place of where she hurt my feelings the first time. I can't even pose the question of how she feel about it because she might laugh at me again. So do you feel like both of you guys have a responsibility to kind of take a step back and regather and kind of present it on a clean slate, or both of you working from an ego place in this hypothetical situation?
I think both of us working from an ego place.
Can somebody remedy that?
I was just about to say. Somebody
I guess
At some point,
we got at some point the ego's gotta be put
gotta
aside
have the
and have the conversation.
So how would that conversation go?
Ooh.
Bob, how would that conversation go? Bob, we're gonna talk to hypothetical Bob now.
Where's Bob?
He's right here. Bob, we're talking to you.
Hey, Bob.
What did you want to say? How would hypothetical ZZ present this? Let's take ourselves out of this situation and look at it again to Bob.
Because we're gonna have to, if I was in a situationship, I would have to actually have a thought, say because I'm not a person that really expresses my feelings like that. So I would really have to have a sit down with myself and think this thing all the way through before having a conversation, because whatever might come in my mouth may kind of be negative or may not be what I want to say.
Do you feel like that's a way to protect yourself?
Yeah.
But I feel like in a long-term situationship, you guys already kind of know you like each other in that situation. And you kind of know how the other person will react, and the fear of how they might react might get in the way of it. But even sitting with those feelings and making sure that you are able to communicate effectively, do you think that you're able to present, you're willing, I'm not even gonna say able, are you willing to present the facts of the situation? Look, you was trying to get at me and make this thing long term. I know I reacted in a negative way that may have not been ideal for you. And then I presented information to you and you definitely reacted in a way that was not ideal for me.
Yes.
Can we just start from a clean slate? I have feelings, you have feelings. Let's see if our feelings match up at this time and place. Do you think, even with the fear of, well, he might be well, F it, we just seem like we're not on the same page. Do you feel like you would be at a place where you could present that? Just lay it out on the plate? Or do you feel, does that make you itch to think about having that conversation?
It makes me scratch like a cracker. Because I'm scratching right now
that doesn't necessarily present feelings. So I kind of like that. For somebody who isn't as comfortable saying, hey, look, I really like you, you make me feel butterflies, whatever, you hurt my feelings, we did this, I wanted to cry in the bathroom, whatever the case is, right there, you're just laying out facts. This is what happened. What we doing? Options,
girl. Give yourself options. Because it's got to be baby steps. Because everybody don't have the same love language. At this juncture in my life, I'm a ushy mushy. I don't mince words with people. All of my friendships, relationships, family, everybody. You get it how it is. And I say exactly how I feel. and I don't make apologies because if I said it out my mouth, that's what I meant. So I'm at that juncture in my life. Everybody ain't on that page, so I'm at a take it or leave it type stage in my life. Like that count for everybody, new, old, in between. I don't know, your Facebook friends, everybody.